Here's another letter. Dear Jay, I do a lot of thinking and praying, and I can't seem to make sense of things. The only thing that keeps repeating is that you are being pressured or influenced by your family because they think that I will lead you all to hell like they think I almost did before. And maybe you also have concerns, but may I ask what you're basing this from, as far as, is it really biblical to keep children from their mother because you don't think she is saved, and yet is it not hypocritical to be okay with them in Karen's care? You may think I am not saved because of what you think I believe, but I know you know that just believing a certain thing is not enough either. The majority of our country claim to believe, but they have not been born again, transformed. That is how we know someone has been truly saved. And I know God promised that he would not forsake his, nor would he not complete the work he began. You cannot deny that I was transformed. I dedicated all of my heart, soul, mind, and body to God. You know it was real and genuine. I prayed and diligently studied the Bible in every translation, and I lived my life to please God, not to earn anything. I knew I already had it. How do you know that I am not exactly where God wants me? A purpose that you or I don't understand, but we don't have to. I go where I'm led. I never lost faith that God was with me. I was there through my journey, and I know it was real, and he would not have just walked away from me like that. Since then, I have learned what it truly means to love people, the kind of love God continues to mention all throughout the Bible. This love I was not able to fully grasp or practice back then. I did not love others like I loved myself. I did not consider their feelings like I wanted my feelings to be considered, and my love was conditional depending on the person. But he heard my prayer to be used by him to make significant, meaningful differences in people's lives, as well as all my other prayers that were as pleasing to him as Solomon's. All I wanted was to raise my kids and help the world around me with what I could, without ever making my kids feel like they came second to the world. I was petrified I would be like my mom and abuse and mistreat my kids. But when I saw that I had broken the cycle of abuse, I was convinced God was with me. For him to actually think of me enough to actually hands-on assist me in a world of 8 billion people, how can I really think I am forsaken, especially since the last 4.5 years, in spite of everything, I am still seeing how he is with me, using me, and teaching me, and giving me the patience and strength, love and wisdom I need to get me through the most traumatically painful years of my life. If you want to choose to keep judging me, assuming I have been forsaken by God, that he broke all his promises to me, and that I am being led by Satan, and our kids are better off in Karen's care than mine, and maybe you justify this because Paul says not to be unequally yoked with unbelievers. Be open to the possibility that you don't fully know what that's about, because that seems to be interpreted in a way that contradicts the rest of the Bible. Is that one verse all you have to justify ignoring the rest and treating me like the way you have, ignoring me, dismissing me, discouraging me, making me feel like the worst feelings in the world, and making no effort to at all to communicate with me, to explain why you feel you have no other choice but to be the only thing preventing me and the kids from fully healing? When we don't like what someone's doing, we should also like to see them change so they can have a better life, especially if they have kids, because it's best if the kids have their parents be the best they can be. Next should come the thought, what can I do to help, inspire, motivate this person to change and be better? Then one might think, what would I need if I were in their shoes and from their We reach out, express our concerns, make them feel loved and understood, and be used by God to make a huge difference. That not only impacts the person and inspires, heals, and motivates them to change, but also the kids have their mom, which will improve their lives. And they witnessed an example of applying the teachings of the Bible. We can either choose to believe we are an exception to all God's rules and judge, punish, and condemn and sentence someone, and believe they are cursed and someone that Jesus would not even think worthy to have you obey him when he says to love your neighbor and your enemy, to give to them who ask you, to feed, visit, break bread with, heal, and treat like you want to be treated. Not even worthy to take the time to get to know them and hear what they have to say, because it's okay for you to judge them and assume to know that God turned his back on them and he does not want to use you to do what he calls all his other people to do, to be an example and show them who God is and what he is about and his love for the world. Do you think he wants you to make me feel like none of you care to even see me change into what you think I should be, believing what you think I should believe, and be saved again because my soul is unsavable, and you have no desire to even reach out just talk to me and make sure you are right about me? Because how would your life be affected if you saw you were either wrong about me or used by God to get through to me, and God removes the scales from my eyes and I get saved again? That would mean you have no excuse for not welcoming me in your home, because it would cause problems with people who are obviously not spirit-filled, with hearts full of love and faith. What's worse, Jay? I know I am right with God because it is evident that I am filled with love and the fruits of the Spirit, and I walk in the light. What I believe is irrelevant because God knows I don't choose what I believe. He knows I can't help to not really know what to believe, and with good reason, and you know it. None of us knows what's been changed to fit agendas, so I have chosen not to dwell on what's out of my control. Obviously, I'm not walking with Satan because I would not continue to grow in love the way I do, and changing and being used to be a light in the world. You are the main teacher for me because I have learned more about love and the golden rule through all of the things you have done or not done, and the feelings you have made me feel, which are so totally the opposite of love and the golden rule. We are supposed to try to imagine what it's like to walk in someone else's shoes and think about why they do what they do, because that usually helps us to have compassion and the wisdom to know what or how we can make a difference. I think you know all you had to do was come to me to tell me your concerns. I can't help but think that you want to think I would be unwilling to do anything to see my kids. Or you feared I would, and that would interfere with your agenda. Can you blame me for thinking that you are not being honest, that you are really worried about the kids' safety? The judge said you would not lose the kids, and you would have learned that there was zero risk at all here, because no laws were even being broke here, and no one is even ever in my home for anyone to even come to take the kids. I have learned from the past and have gone to extremes to make sure, and for the last 4 years I have been reaching out to you, asking for the chance to show you who the mother of your children is, and you ignored me. Anyone can see that you obviously have other reasons and no intentions of having that change, and you think it's okay to be deceptive and make everyone think that I am a lost cause or whatever, when you are the one who could have made all the difference in the world. Your role in my healing process was not the role of someone who has the love of God in his heart, or walks in the fruits of the Spirit, or is a disciple of Jesus. How many opportunities do you get in your world to be used by God to demonstrate and practice and apply the word, being what a Christian is supposed to be, to make disciples and save souls? What is it that draws people to God? What have Christians done to turn people off and push them away and make people want nothing to do with God and the church? I am so disturbed and disappointed in you, because you should be aware of how this was the opportunity of a lifetime for you to make the biggest difference that not only would have helped me heal, but it would have been the most honorable example to our kids, which would inspire and motivate and make them heal and look at you like a true man of God, Christ-like all the way, the real deal. I expected that because that's who I thought I married. Can you accept that a lot of my trauma is from you? I never thought you would ever be the one to cause me so much pain, discouragement, humiliation, degradation, confusion, despair, and deceiving my kids and family to think things about me that are not true. Because in spite of what you think of me, the bad does not come close to comparing to all the good about me. My heart, motives, intentions, and actions are of the good and pure, and I am doing my best, and I have come a long way, and I have grown and healed, and have accomplished so much in spite of everything that you obviously diminish and don't think is as a big deal, think is as a big deal as I make it. But someday you will learn that what I went through was in fact a very big deal, and most people do not recover from. But I did with no family support. God carried me. He reminded me of who I am, and it was an opportunity for me to prove to myself who I knew I was all along, someone I love and respect, and am so proud of, and I am stronger than ever, and I can help people in ways that really matter. I am aware of my purpose, and God has prepped and equipped me with wisdom, discernment, and I radiate a very strong vibe that everyone I meet feels right away. And the more I use my gifts, the greater they become. And it is an insult to God for you to have the audacity to insist you know his plan for me is nothing worth investing in, but okay to stomp on me with not a hint of remorse or regret. This is how I feel, how you have made me feel, and you do nothing to even deny it. You should see the difference between us with just the little bit you know of me. The old me would have expressed so much hatred, rage, bitterness, revenge, spite, meanness, hurtful, humiliating, perhaps even violence towards you. I would have not cared if I made things worse or hurt our kids, but I do not have it in me to be like that, as much as that is how you make me feel, implying that I am no good and unfit when you know nothing but you have two things on me and ignore the rest, knowing how much it would have meant to me and the kids to hear you say you are proud of me and help me in the simple, easy ways you could have to help me heal. I am at peace with Mike's death. My PTSD is losing my kids and being treated like I need a visitation center. That is the most insulting, humiliating, unnecessary, hypocritical thing anyone has ever done by the two people I cherished and valued. Whether you intended or meant to does not matter. You betrayed me in the worst way. That is how I was affected. Not sure you can even imagine. And maybe I'm just sensitive, but whatever. So now You want to do what could and likely would set my progress back significantly. And the fact that you would not only still insist we do visitation center, knowing it will trigger trauma, but you would hold it against me and try to make me look bad, because I won't put myself or the kids through that. I have the grace of God to be patient, because I know this will all be over soon. I have to trust that, because I know, and the kids know, I am a good mom. They need in their life. Of course, we will be together again, especially since you clearly have been in the wrong. Even if even if your reasons really were good ones, your ways of handling things are not right by any means, and our kids deserve better, and they now more than ever see a big difference between us. And it's safe to say they will of course choose the genuine love and all of my goodness, even though I am not perfect, but I have all that really matters and what they really need and appreciate. We will all look back, but my conscience will be clear, and I will have no regrets, because I did my best and gave my all, and the kids know it, and sadly, they will feel bad for a few things and may resent you for allowing them to carry some burdens that you could have taken and prevented. They will ask why you never tried to work things out when Mommy did so many times. They see all the things about me when they are here that you refuse to see, and they know you could and should. They don't like to feel like you don't want to hear things said good of me. That pressures and confuses them. It takes peace and joy from them, and there will be consequences, Jay. I know you knew all along the right thing, and you chose to ignore it. Of course, God has to discipline you, to teach you. It's going to make you wish you did things different. All of it was in vain. You accomplished nothing good. And I want to know, if no one else existed except you, me, and the kids, but our situation was the same, would you still make the choices that you make as far as everything since Mike died? And I personally don't think that you would have, because I know you. I was with you for 13 years, and that wasn't the kind of person you were. So basically, if you can admit that all the decisions you made, if you wouldn't have made them if no one else existed, then you are allowing yourself to be pressured, and you're doing things for other people, and you're ignoring the fact that the only 4 people that should matter the most to you are 4 kids. And I'm just going to let you think about that, and the letter that I wrote.